welcome once again to today's concept. We are still on the polynomial functions. In our last session of our lesson, we looked at addition and subtraction of polynomial functions, where we sum up two or more polynomial functions. Now, today's lesson, we are going to look at how we can find a product, or we can multiply two or more polynomial functions. Now, as I said earlier, when it comes to polynomial functions, especially the addition, subtraction, and multiplication, these are basic principles that we have been doing. We've done this in our basic school. So when it comes to this, it's just that here you are going to add what expression. And if you recall what you learned in algebraic expression, you realize that when it comes to addition, multiplication, subtraction of polynomial functions, it's the same. It follows the same principle. So that is what we are going to do for today's lesson. We are only going to multiply expression, which we term them as polynomial. All right, good. So here what you need to do is that you have to be careful whenever you are multiplying roots, or maybe you are multiplying exponents. That is where most students find themselves wanting, and we are going to look at all that. Without wasting much time, let's take our first example and see how we can do this basic multiplication of polynomial function. Alright, great. So in our first example, we have this question before us, which says f of x plus is equal to x plus 3. G of x is also equal to x squared plus 2x minus 7, where we have h of x as 2x squared. And what are we supposed to do? So we are supposed to find the product of f of x and g of x. Also, we are to find the product of h of x and the difference of f of x and g of x. So these ones are also basic multiplication of polynomial functions. So we are not going to waste much time. Let's take our first question, that is f of x multiplying g of x. Okay, so when you see the dot means you are to multiply f of x. Okay, now we shall be doing the dot product, especially when we get to vectors. Okay, so when we get to vectors, we are going to learn what is the dot product. So when you see these dots here, it means multiply them. Okay, great. So we are going to multiply them. Then what do? You need to put them in brackets. Okay, so as I said, when we're doing the addition and the subtraction, I said that when it's given to you, you need to put them in brackets so that it will be easy for you. Okay, yes. So we put them in bracket like this, and in this case it means that when it comes to this multiplication, whatever you did in the algebraic expression, you remember when you were doing expansion of bracket, whenever you are given this, what do? You open the bracket. Okay, especially when you have expressions in bracket, you are multiplying one bracket by another bracket. What happens there? What happens that you take each term of the first bracket and multiply by each term of the second bracket, and that is what we are going to do here. That's why initially I said that when it comes to multiplication, addition, and subtraction of polynomial functions, it's not difficult. It's the same as we learned in our basic school, where especially JHS, when we're doing algebraic expression. Yes, and that's the same principle we are going to apply here. So how do we apply this? Okay, so it means that we take the x and multiply by every term in the second bracket. The same thing, we take 3 in the first bracket and multiply by every term in the second bracket. As it is done, you see the red curve. Yes, it means that x multiplies every term. Okay, yes. So that is how it is done. All right, good. So you see that you get this. Okay, yes. So that is what is written down here. It means that 3 and the x multiply. So x multiplies x squared, we get what? X cubed. X multiplies 2x, we get 2x squared. X multiplies -7 and we get what? -7x. Yes, that is how the bracket is open. Alright, good. So you see that this is what we are getting, and when we are done, we do the same. 3 also multiplies what? X squared, and we are going to get 3x squared. 3 multiplies 2x, we are going to get 6x, and 3 multiplies -7, we are going to get what? -21, and that is what we have here. Okay, and once you get to this point, what do you do? So you remember what we did in the addition, grouping of like terms. Okay, so we have x cubed, and I realize we don't have any x cubed again, so we can maintain the x cubed, and then yes, you see that we have 2x squared, we also have 3x squared, so they are like. Because of that, we put them together, so we are going to have 2x squared plus 3x squared. You also realize that we have -x and we have 6x, means they are also alike, so we put them also together as well. Then we are left with -21. Do we have any other constant? No, so we maintain the -21. Okay, yes, and that is how it is done. Once you've perfectly done the grouping of like terms, what do you do next? All that you do is what? Then you just need to add them and write your final answer. So if you are adding this, then how do you do it? We see that x cubed stands alone, it doesn't have any x cubed again, so we keep that, and then we add the rest. So 2x squared plus 3x squared gives us what? 5x squared. Great. Then we also have -x and 7x plus 6x, and then if we add, we are also going to get what? -x. Then we are left with -21, which doesn't have any constant, so we keep that one as well. So if that's the case, then this becomes our final solution, and that's it. Okay, so we have x squared, x cubed plus 5x squared minus x minus 21, and that gives us what? The product of f of x and g of x. So that's our answer. Alright, great. Now let's look at the second part, which is each x multiplying f of x minus g of x. Okay, but in this case, how do you do that? Before you can even do the multiplication, you need to do what is in the bracket first. Yes, so as someone may say, in board maths, you always have to deal with what is in the bracket. Alright, good. So it means that we are going to look at how to find the difference of f of x and g of x. Okay, and as it goes again, I said, especially in the subtraction, you need to put them in bracket. Okay, so f of x is giving us x plus 3 minus g of x, which is also giving us what? X squared plus 2x minus 7, and then we are going to find the difference. So when you see it this way, it means that the negative between them, the negative, you take it as -1. So it's the same way you are going to open the bracket. So in a way, even though you are subtracting, in a way you are also going to multiply. So you are multiplying -1 by each term of the second bracket. And since we have x plus 3, if you open the bracket, then you are going to get the same expression, which is x plus 3. Then if you open the second bracket where we have the negative outside, then you are going to get what? Negative x squared minus 2x minus plus 7. Yes, it is plus, because we know that the 7, we have -7, and then it is going to multiply -1, and that gives us what? That. And when you are now, what do? You group your like terms. So my negative squared comes, okay, because it stands alone, it doesn't have square again. Then I'll group x and -2x. Okay, then I'll also group 3 and what? 7. and in the long run, if I add them, then I'm going to get my solution as this. So once you are able to add them, then you get what? This. So we get negative x squared minus x plus 10, and that gives us what? The solution for f of x minus g of x. Once you get that, what do you do next? Then you are going to multiply by each of x, because that is what the question says. Okay, the question says that we should multiply each of x by the difference of f of x and g of x, and we have gotten f of x minus g of x. So what do you do again? All right, good. So this is what we are looking at. We put and what is each of x? Each of x is given us what? 2x squared, which is going to multiply what? The f of x minus g of x, which is given as negative x squared minus x plus 10. Okay, so once you have this, the same thing here, it means we have one expression outside. This time the one outside is not in a bracket, so we have only one term, and this is going to multiply each term. Okay, so 2x squared multiplying negative x squared, what do we get? We get what? Negative 2x exponent 4. Why 4? Because you know that the law of indices. So if you have forgotten, then go back to law of indices. Okay, when you are multiplying them, okay, when the base are the same, we add the exponents. Okay, when you are multiplying expressions, or maybe two letters, when the base are the same, you only add this the exponent. So you realize that x squared and negative x squared, they are the same, so you just add the exponent, which are 2, then you get 4, and that is why it is what? Negative 2x exponent 4. Then if you multiply 2x squared by negative x, you are going to get what? Negative 2x cubed as well. Then what is 2x squared multiplying 10? You are going to get 20x squared. And that, can we group like terms? No, we can group like terms because the thing is grouped already. Alright, so once we can group like terms and add again, then we leave our answer as it is. Okay, so it means that if you find the product of each of x by f of x minus g of x, you are going to get negative 2x exponent 4 minus 2x cubed plus 20x squared, and that ends it. Okay, so you see that this is what basic. As I said, this is the same as we did in algebraic expression. Okay, so when you are given basic principles like this, you follow this. All right, it's not difficult. All right, so I will urge each and every one to solve more examples on this, because these ones are basic. We will not waste much time on that. Okay, and if that's the case, then we are going to end here and continue next time. Now in our next lesson, we are going to look at how to divide. That is where most students have a lot of challenges there. Okay, so when we get there, I will want each and every one to pay attention. We are going to go through everything, and there we are going to use two methods to learn how to divide two polynomial, and yes, two polynomial functions. Okay, yes. So that will be in our next lesson. If that's the case, then let's end here and continue next time. All right, great. So I'm Evans Okine, your maths facilitator, and this channel is Maths with TV. So I encourage each and everyone to kindly subscribe, like, and share the videos. You can also pick my contacts or my email. You can send me email, or you can also go to the comment section and add your submission. If you have any question, you can also leave your question under the comment section. If that's the case, then we shall end here. See you next time. Bye bye.